Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. My father, 52, and I, 25 female, along with my 3-year-old Cocker Spaniel, Moxie, live in my mom's ancestral house that I inherited along with other assets when she died when I was 16 due to cancer. My father got married to his high school sweetheart a few months ago while he was on a trip with his friends. Apparently, they've been in contact for almost 2 years now. I was shocked, but it's his life, and if he's happy, then I'm okay with it. They moved in a week after the small wedding that I wasn't even invited to, since I had no idea that they were even dating or that he was dating. She, my dad's wife, that we'll call Steph, 51, came with a baggage. I mean, twin stepsisters, 20 female, Lizzie and Lexi, fake names, and their 2 chihuahuas, Gucci and Hermes. They go to the state college nearby and thought that it would save them money if they live here instead of paying rent, etc. My dad asked if it was okay, and he also stated that the house is big enough for us. 7 bedrooms, 8.5 baths, a basement, and a huge yard with a pool. To make my dad happy, I said yes. Big mistake. First issue was the argument of me moving to a smaller room, since my room has the second biggest closet out of all the rooms in the house. She needed it to store all her luxury bags and clothes, etc. I said no. I told her it's been my room since I can remember, and she's not making me move when it's my house. My dad compromised with her that he'll give his side of the closet to her, while his things are in the other room. Second issue. The twins have this habit of barging into people's rooms without knocking, and that includes my office, currently working from home due to virus. Lexi walked in one time wearing a bikini, looking for something, while I was in the middle of a business meeting. She literally walked behind me where everyone could see her. I was pissed off and embarrassed. Third, their dogs are not potty trained and would leave poops and pee around the house, and the twins wouldn't even clean up after them. They're also very aggressive towards Moxie. I found Moxie one time with a scratch on her left eye where the other 2 dogs would usually nip at her when they get the chance. Fourth, all the family photos in the house were removed and put in the attic without my approval. That includes my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my mother's family photo, my baby pictures, etc. I took my time to put them all back to where they belonged. This happened a few times. 2 days ago, Steph did it again, but this time she replaced them with her pictures, the twins, and her family, etc. Steph and I had a heated argument about it. I told her that she can't do anything regarding the decorations, etc., in my house without my approval, and that her daughter should also learn how to knock on doors and have their dogs potty trained. She said that they can do whatever they want in her house, and that she will be making up house rules that we will all follow, since she thinks I'm such a wild animal, doing whatever I want, and that I was not raised properly due to having a bad, useless mother. I was livid. That's an understatement. I told her that she can pack her things along with her twins, because I'm kicking her out. She said that I have no right to kick them out from her house. I told her, and I quote, "Lady, you are living under my roof. This is my house. I inherited it from my mother, and right now you, your twins, and your dog are trespassing. Get out before I call the cops." My dad got home early that day after Steph told him what happened. I told him my side of the story. He said that they're still getting used to the house and the move here was difficult for them. I told him about all the issues surrounding them, but he kept insisting that it's going to get better and that to just give them some time. I told him that I've put up with all their crap and I've had enough. Enough is enough. He was defending them more, taking their side. So I told him that he can either move out with them or stay, and that he has until the end of the week. Did I do the right thing here, making my dad choose between me and his new family? I literally gave them a chance, and I've put up with so much of their crap for the past few months. What she said about my mother was my breaking point. There's no way she will disrespect her in the house where she grew up in, where I grew up in. Girl, you did what you had to do, and I would 100% do the exact same thing. Your father, on the other hand, needs to grow some spine. It seems like she got him wrapped around her fingers. I doubt it was even his idea to get married without inviting you. If he ends up choosing them, just cut them out. Go no contact. You don't need that kind of toxicity in your life. Also, make sure he can't contest your inheritance regarding the house, just so they can stay there. You know people these days. I hope it turns up in your favor. The audacity of this woman. Her house? Then has the nerve to talk crap about your mother? I would have packed her crap and thrown it out the door. OP, please have all of the locks changed and get a security gate. Do not give any of them a new key, even your dad. I get the feeling that your dad will go with his new wife. You have been more than kind to them all. Did your dad have anything to say about his new wife's comment about your mother being bad and useless? I'm proud of you for standing your ground and kicking these worthless, crappy women out. Yes, the amount of entitlement from your father's wife and stepdaughters is absurd. I am so glad you kicked them out. As far as your dad, his behavior is also pretty terrible. The whole thing where, whoops, I got married and didn't tell you, and oh, by the way, can my new family move in? He is not showing any courtesy, respect, or honesty. Update. It does make it seem like I'm a pushover. Well, maybe I am. I just don't like confrontation, arguing, or anything that ends up fighting with someone. I'm just not that type of person. I will be changing the locks around the house as some of you suggested. Unfortunately, the gate on the property is old and rusted, and it's been open for who knows how long, so I can't really do much about it right now. Anyway, I called the same lawyer that handled my mom's will to review if there's any loophole or any chance that my dad can contest it. I will be seeing her in a couple of hours. Regarding my dad, he's a good man, and he's worked hard to provide for me and my needs when my mom died. He's never asked me to tap on my money to help with the living expenses, etc. He makes a decent amount of money as an engineer, like 6 figures, so I don't think he's after my money. I could be wrong though. I just think that he's blinded that someone still finds him attractive at his age. Also, didn't help it how it was his high school sweetheart. I've also talked to him about his impromptu wedding, and when he kept things from me. He just said that he didn't know how I was going to react if I knew that he was dating the ex-girlfriend before he met and married my mom. I was pissed off, but I got over it, since he seemed happy having her around. I don't know what their whole history is, or if there's bad blood between her and my mom to make her lash out like that and disrespect her. Steph and her evil spawns are staying somewhere in town. No idea where, and I don't care or want to find out. They have the money to take care of themselves, and if they run out, they always have their luxury bags to sell. Honestly, who needs so much bag that they require a whole closet just to store them? If anyone's wondering where my relatives are, well, my mom was an only child, and grandparents left her everything. When my mom died, I got most of what she inherited. She left some to my dad as well. My grandparents on my dad's side live about 6 hours away with my uncles and aunts. It's literally just me and my dad here, and Moxie. Moxie is doing well. She's happier and seems to enjoy the quietness around the house. Update 2. I spoke with my mother's previous lawyer, Amy, fake name, about the issue on Saturday and asked if there's any way to contest the will. She showed me the documents, and my dad and I both signed an agreement, in summary, that we agree on what was left to us and that we will not be contesting it in the future. Mom for the win. She also advised to give them at least 30 days to find a place and move out to avoid any legal troubles, etc. So, inheritance issue is solved. Saturday night, I was supposed to have dinner with just my dad. Apparently, a private discussion between father and daughter is a whole family affair. Steph and twins were there. To make it quick and to end the misery, I stated that I spoke with Amy regarding the house and other legal issues. I also added that they have 30 days to find a place and move out. Steph tried to object, but Dad shut her down by saying that we can fix the issue and that we can all go to family therapy and that we just need time to get to know each other. Cue my eyes rolling. I informed him that it's been months since they moved in, and not once did they try to be family, unless they need something. I put my foot down. Enough is enough. So I asked him if he's going with them or staying, so I'll know which items he'll be taking. He asked if I'm kicking him out, which I told him I'm not, that he's free to choose to wherever he goes, but I told him that he should not expect me to keep in contact with him if he decides to leave. Steph asked why I'm kicking him out of his house. I told her that I inherited my house from my mother. She said that he told her that I live with him. I guess she thought that I live with my dad in his house. Big misunderstanding on their part. Lexi argued that it's going to be hard to move since they're finishing up spring semester and that finals are in a couple of weeks. I just smiled and said, "You better hurry and find a place." I left after that. Yesterday, Easter Sunday, I invited my boyfriend and his family and my 2 best friends over to celebrate Easter Sunday. My dad has been calling me and I didn't bother answering the call. He tried to invite me to spend the day with him. As far as I'm concerned, the only family I have right now are my 2 best friends, my boyfriend and his family. It was a good Sunday. We did some egg hunting and a few games and had a big dinner, which I haven't had in a long time. I felt right. Anyway, right now I'm finishing up on documenting everything that's worth over $500 in the house. I had a few people over to help document them. All locks have been changed. I only gave a copy to my boyfriend. Don't worry about my dad asking him about the key. He doesn't approve of him since he's middle class. I also hired professionals to install a security system around the house and property, and I am scheduled to meet with someone regarding the fences and gate. I have not tapped into the fund that my mom left since I started college to help with tuition, dorm, and other expenses. But this is an emergency, and it calls for it. All the family pictures, portraits, etc. are currently in a storage. All other valuables that are small are in a safety deposit box. All documents are in a wire and fireproof safe that requires a key and PIN to open, currently in my room. I'm trying to take all the precautions and advice that you guys wrote on the comments section in my previous post. Thank you for those. So that's about it for now. Not really sure why Dad is choosing to be with them than me, his own flesh and blood. With her actions, it was pretty obvious that she thought it was your dad's house, and you were just living in it. Hence, she asked you to give up your room because she wants your closet. She thought she can drive you out, most likely intended. Nicely played. And yes, Mom for the win. This is like the re-edited story of Cinderella, when everything goes right for Cinderella, but not for the stepmother and the stepsisters. Why do older men who remarry seemingly lose their minds? They burn bridges with their older kids and get taken advantage of by the new wife. Loneliness? Wanting a woman around the house? I know several older men who believe that their wife will be the only person to stay with them as they get older, and therefore they have to prioritize their wife over their children. They love their kids, but kids grow up and move out, while your spouse stays with you. So when you get a new spouse, they're the priority. This dad, though, has some serious blinders on. He intentionally didn't tell the new wife that the house wasn't his, ignored how the new wife and stepdaughters were treating OP, and didn't see the signs that he was losing his daughter. But maybe that's because of pride issue. His daughter owns the house he lives in, doesn't need his money, and now he has 3 people who depend on him, and he feels like the man of the house again. I don't know. I feel so bad for OP that her dad never seemed to step up to protect her and her mother's memory from his new family. Update 3. One of my high school friends is a real estate agent, and I had her help find them a house nearby, about 15 minutes away after thinking through my decision. I helped with the down payment just to get them started, just so that they don't feel like I didn't help them, etc. Regarding my dad, we had a long discussion about the issue. He moved in with him, but we decided we would have dinner every Sunday night, just us two, to celebrate any special occasions together. I did remind him that I can't have him or any of his new family in the house after his wife disrespected my mom. I don't know much about their history, and I really don't want to find out. But as far as I know, and as far as I can remember, my mother was nothing but kind to everyone. She raised me to be that way, but I guess she'll be disappointed in me after kicking them out. Oh well. He changed his will and added them in, but I advised him not to tell them. Been watching too much crime stories for the past few months, and I'm just looking out for him. He did say he was proud of my decision, and that I've grown up well and strong, and that my mom would be proud of me, and what I have accomplished in life so far. After that whole ordeal and making sure that the house is secure, etc., I went on a vacation with my boyfriend, well, now fiancé, to unwind and relax. The whole issue took a toll on my mental health, and it was a struggle getting back to, I guess, being normal, being my usual self. Also, no wedding bells anytime soon. He's focused on his intern year up in New York pursuing his career in medicine, wants to be a pediatrician. For all those wondering, he did sign a prenup. He was more than willing to sign it. Also, my mom's side of the family had a big military finance background, lots of investments and such. I could have followed their footsteps and joined the military, but my hand-eye coordination is abysmal, so that's why I work in finance. I try not to depend on my family's money and learned how to make my own money through investments, stocks, etc. I did take out a little bit to do some remodeling in and around the house. Got to keep it well maintained if I want to pass it down. I think that's about it. My dad and I aren't exactly back to our old relationship. I don't think we'll ever get back to it, but we're civil about the situation. I've seen Steph and her daughters around town a few times, but I don't acknowledge them. Why would I when they took my dad from me? Just remember, they didn't take him from you. He took himself. Or more accurately, he tried to foist them on you. He chose to believe his own BS story that he could bring them all into the life and home you shared and make a big happy family without any prior knowledge or consent from you. He did this to you, not them. Their biggest crimes are being tactless, rude, obnoxious, and ill-informed. Just wanted to say that your dad sounds pretty much awful, and you have been way too kind. She disrespected your mother, his late wife, the mother of his child like that, and he is still with her. Not even fight or putting her in her place. I'm honestly surprised with how much you helped afterwards, as if you hadn't already done enough, and even more surprised that you hadn't gone no contact. He doesn't deserve you. He just doesn't. And to put the entitled daughters in his will, after what, a year of marriage? Yeah, he really sucks. Sorry. You're too good for all of them, and I hope you realize it. Also, as someone commented, update your will. If you don't want him moving back in with them in your mother's house should something happen to you, take your father off your will, at least as long as the house is concerned. But all the way would be the best. Because basically you wouldn't be leaving your father anything. He would be spending every last dollar on them and their bags.